Okay, so if you've ever set a huge, ambitious goal for the new year only to watch it completely fizzle out by, I don't know, February, you are definitely not alone. Turns out the problem usually isn't our motivation, but the method we're using. Today, we're going to dive into a framework that totally flips the script on goal setting, helping you build goals that actually stick. Does this feel a little too familiar? You start the year, you're full of energy, you've got these big plans, but then February rolls around and that motivation is just gone. And the goals are pretty much forgotten. It's a really frustrating cycle, right? But what if the problem isn't you? What if it's the entire way we're taught to set goals in the first place? Okay, let's get into this story. This quote comes from a counselor who tried this really creative method, a bingo board with 25 different goals. I mean, it sounds fun, doesn't it? But even with this cool, engaging approach, she ended up feeling overwhelmed and guilty. And what this story really shows us is a super important insight. More goals doesn't mean more progress. Actually, a lot of the time, it's the exact opposite. So, yeah, this brings us right to the main question. Why do our best intentions just fall flat so often? It's so easy to blame ourselves, to think we're lazy, but the real reason might be something way deeper, something rooted in psychology and just how our brains are wired. Now, this slide right here is a total game changer because it reframes the whole problem. We're always told that when we fail, it's a lack of willpower. But the reality, goals usually fail because they're designed in a total vacuum, completely disconnected from the real demands and, the actual energy levels of our day-to-day lives. And this is the science behind that disconnect. It's a concept called cognitive load. Basically, when we pile on way too many new goals on top of everything we're already doing, we just overload our nervous system. And the result isn't growth. It's stress, burnout, and our brain's natural defense mechanism, procrastination. So, how do we fix this whole mess? Well, the solution is a really powerful shift in thinking. It's called the subtraction first framework. And just like it sounds, instead of starting by adding more to our plate, we're actually going to start by taking things off. Let's walk through the 6 steps to build goals that you can actually sustain. So here it is, the whole 6-step framework. And as you can see, the first half is all about clearing the deck, looking at what's weighing you down and then getting rid of it. It's only then that we move into the building phase, finding our true priorities, creating systems to support them, and making sure it all fits our real lives. And we'll wrap it all up by connecting our goals to who we really are. Let's jump into step 1. Okay, first things first. Before you can build anything new, you gotta understand the ground you're building on. This first step isn't about judging yourself for the past year, it's just about gaining awareness, and doing it with a lot of self-compassion. Ask yourself these 3 simple but really powerful questions. Being totally honest about what's creating friction in your life is the most crucial first step. It's what gives you the clarity you need to make intentional changes, instead of just piling on more ambition. All right, so once you have that clarity on what's weighing you down, the next logical step is, to get rid of it. You just can't build an intentional, meaningful life on a foundation that's already crumbling. Subtraction is what creates the mental and emotional space you need for real growth. And listen, this doesn't have to be some big dramatic thing. We're talking about small, practical, actionable changes. Can you delegate one task at work? Can you finally say no to that social thing that always drains you? Can you simplify your morning routine by 5 minutes? Every single little thing you remove lowers that cognitive load we talked about. Now that you've created some space, it's time to get strategic. Instead of chasing a dozen different goals, the whole idea here is to find that 1, maybe 2 key actions that will have the biggest positive impact on your life. We're looking for what really moves the needle. Think about your energy like this chart. I mean, for a lot of us, a huge chunk of our time and energy is spent on tasks that don't really lead to meaningful results. The goal of this step is to completely flip that ratio, to find that 20% of effort that's going to create 80% of the positive change you're looking for. So this all comes down to asking, where is my energy best spent? Is it launching that creative project you keep thinking about? Is it carving out dedicated time for your relationships? Identifying what truly moves the needle makes sure your effort isn't just busy work, it's actual progress. Okay, so you've figured out your big priority. Now what? Well, most people just rely on motivation. But here's the thing about motivation. It's notoriously unreliable. It comes and it goes. The real key to consistency isn't more willpower. It's building systems that make progress the default path. And systems are just structures that make doing the right thing easier. That's it. It could be as simple as laying out your gym clothes the night before, or blocking out 30 minutes for writing every single morning. These little systems reduce friction and they create momentum through small, consistent wins.
This next step is so important, and it's one that almost everyone overlooks. We are not robots, right? Life is unpredictable and our energy levels go up and down. Sustainable goals have to be flexible enough to adapt to our reality, not fight against it.
What this really means is just giving yourself permission to be human. Some seasons of life are for sprinting and other seasons are for resting and slow growth. Honoring your actual, real-life capacity is what prevents burnout and makes this whole process feel less like a struggle and more like a supportive practice. And finally, we get to the most foundational step of all. Because the most resilient, long-lasting goals are the ones that aren't just about what you want to achieve, but about who you want to become. When a goal is deeply connected to your core values and your vision for your life, it becomes intrinsically motivating. It's not a chore on a to-do list anymore. It becomes an expression of who you are. And those are the goals that stick, even when things get really tough. So let's kind of zoom out and bring this all together. By following this subtraction-first framework, we fundamentally change our relationship with our own goals. They stop being this source of pressure and guilt. And this right here, this is the ultimate payoff. The goal isn't just to check a box. It's to create a system where progress feels natural, stress is manageable, and the goals themselves become a seamless extension of the life you want to live, rather than just another heavy burden you have to carry. So I'll leave you with this one final thought to reflect on. Before you add a single new goal for the year ahead, ask yourself this question. The answer might just be the most powerful first step you can possibly take. If you spend any time online, you've heard it a million times. It's the universal sign-off, the creator's mantra. Like, share, subscribe. We hear it so often it's just kind of become background noise, right? But what if I told you those 3 little words aren't just a polite request? They're actually a powerful set of commands that literally shape the internet you experience. So let's just put it all together one more time. Liking is your vote for quality. Sharing is your tool for expansion. And subscribing is your act of community building. Every single click has a distinct and vital impact on the digital world we all live in. So, the next time you hear that familiar sign-off, remember this. You are not just passively watching something. You are an active participant. You are a curator, deciding what content deserves to be seen. You're an amplifier, giving it a bigger voice. And you're a patron, supporting the creators that you really value. So remember, your clicks have real weight. They actually shape the internet that we all share. They can elevate an unknown artist, they can spread a vital idea, or they can build a global community. You hold that power in your hands. The only question left is, now that you know the code, how are you going to use it?